A 260 horsepower CL Type S from Acura.
The NCAA basketball tournament on CBS. Today we come to you with second round action from Buffalo on the road to the Final Four. And the first matchup of the day, number 11 seed Pepperdine against third seeded Oklahoma State. Look at the brackets. Pepperdine with a victory over Indiana. Oklahoma State advanced with a win over Hofstra. Hi everybody, Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarkle. Oklahoma State comes out of the Big 12 and Pepperdine out of the West Coast Conference, same conference that produces Gonzaga, and they made a name for themselves here. Big question, who are these guys and how do they beat up on Indiana the way they did in the first round?
Well, who they are, Ian, quickly is that Pepperdine is a team that just loves to go up and down the floor. They switch defenses constantly, so it'll be interesting to see how Oklahoma State reacts to the many switching defenses that they'll throw at them.
Take a look at the starting lineups. And for Pepperdine in that first round matchup, Brandon Armstrong tied a career high with 22 points. Oklahoma State led by Desmond Mason, 30 points in the 20-point win over Hofstra. He was 11 for 17 from the field. Eddie Sutton, over 650 career victories, 227 of them coming at Oklahoma State, his alma mater. And Jan Van Bredekoff went to the NCAA tournament as the head coach of Vanderbilt once. In his first year at Pepperdine, he's back.
And he's ready to get these guys going. As we just touched on, one of the key things to look for is how the Cowboys react with the basketball and making decisions, especially their backcourt, because Pepperdine will switch defenses constantly.
Oklahoma State controls the tap with Joe Atkins out front. Now it's Gottlieb. Out on the perimeter, Montanati. Little pump fake. Kick out. Adkins into the lane, loses the ball, and Pepperdine, with that swarming defense they used in the first round, gets the turnover. Prince, the jump shot. He knocks it down.
Right off the bat, they're going down the floor, and what they're looking to do is find the wings and hit them and look for shots. Good pressure defense. It's going to go the other way starting early.
Indiana did not know what hit them in the early going against Pepperdine, and that was basically it, other than an run early in the second half for the Hoosiers. Pepperdine with a tremendous performance. Series note, just the third ever meeting between these two teams. Brandon Armstrong scored 18 points in the first half in round one.
A little bit of a flat zone right now, 2-3 to start it off, and pressure on the wing.
Ball trickled out of bounds, last touch Oklahoma State. One thing about Pepperdine, 4 starters are lefties. The only righty is the starting point guard, Tazell Archie.
And what happens with that, most teams run things to the right side, usually with more right-handed players on the floor. Most of the sets go towards the left side of the floor.
Jump shot from the corner, doesn't go for Archie. Offensive rebound, Gibbs. Somehow got it to the other side of the floor in a reset. 2-0, Pepperdine with the lead. First minute of play here in Buffalo.
And if Pepperdine can't go up and down the floor, it's so important for them to get good shots, and from a confidence standpoint, to get them to go down.
Prince on a bounce for Gibbs. Floats it too high. Shepard is fouled.
Shepard was huge the other night against Indiana. A real force down on the paint area. Gave them nice numbers. 17 points in total, but if he can work the glass, they'll be in pretty good shape.
Pepperdine yearbook out of Malibu, California, the West Coast Conference. Enrollment of 8,000. See the famous alumni, including Montel Jordan, pop sensation. Frederick Yanzia picking up the personal foul, but Shepard missing on the free throw. 60% this season, nothing fancy. Jan Van Bredekoff just asks Shepard to be a hard worker in the post.
And after the make, let's take a look and see what type of defense comes at them now. It's going to be a full court, trying to deny Gottlieb. You'll see 2 guys on Gottlieb. They want to get the ball out of his hands right now. Prince, and here comes a double team every time he touches it.
2 possessions for Oklahoma State, 2 turnovers thus far. Here's Mason with a pull-up hop. And Gibbs up high to get it, but he's called for traveling. Gibbs tried to put it on the floor.
He came very close to putting it on the floor as he knew he was going to fall down for the automatic traveling violation.
Ed Hightower was located behind him and maybe didn't see the dribble. So Oklahoma State gets it back. Good step up. Montanati, the jump shot off the rim, and Archie crashing the boards.
with the wave go. They go right down the floor, 2 guys to the wings, 1 down the middle, and a delay.
Gibbs thought about a 3. Pepperdine in front, 3-0.
Cowboys back to a straight man-to-man, doubling the blocks.
Extra pass. Gibbs pulls the trigger, a 3. Off the mark. And rebounded by Atkins. Ahead for Mason. Mason with a stop and go to the basket. Lost it for a moment. And a foul call.
Mason going to the basket. One of the key things for Oklahoma State is if Mason can get off to an early start. He freezes and goes to the basketball. Good hands. And that's not a travel because he never had possession. Good stay. One of the things about Mason, good outside, good inside player. Very important, though, for him to get on track and get a good start. 11 for 17 the other night for 30 points was tremendous.
First personal foul on Kelvin Gibbs. And Mason gets Oklahoma State on the board. Great players usually play great in March. And Mason got off to a tremendous start with his first round performance. Doesn't get the roll on the second attempt. And it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch, Cowboys.
Level of competition obviously a whole lot different now. And also one thing to point out offensively, when Oklahoma State has the basketball, Pepperdine will try to keep it out of his hands as much as possible. Mason, that is, so he can't get the early start.
Pepperdine lost to Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference Championship game. They come in a confident bunch, and there's the finger roll for Brandon Armstrong.
Putting the ball on the floor also, making some action, creating opportunities.
And again, the pressure on the backcourt. Atkins will float it ahead. Yanzian leaning in, but he's called for steps.
Little hop step, but really it's the key of the read just then. Pretty good job by Oklahoma State of reading that trap and getting rid of the basketball.
Third Oklahoma State turnover, a timeout. Pepperdine off to a 5-1 lead early.
There's nothing going on here tonight.
Ever notice if you rub your eyes for a while, you start to see little stars and stuff? You see?
No, I don't see anything.
You gotta rub harder.
Red dots, okay? Is that what I'm... This is great.
Wait.
You see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got flashes.
Whoa.
I see blurry blobs. 2 of them.
Ooh, lightning.
It's like a French painting.
Big night out.
Tiny amoebas marching together.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
It's on me, guys.
Thanks. See, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, we don't have that. When Tom Stemberg discovered he couldn't find a ribbon...
No, we don't have that.
...for his home printer...
Printer?
He opened his own store, then another, and changed the way office products are sold. Being ever alert to customer needs, Staples has set company sales records every year it's been in business. Where do you learn about companies that are creating entire new industries? Exactly. NASDAQ. Stock market for the digital world.
Every part of your business can now benefit from the internet. Microsoft Windows 2000 was built for the internet. The business internet starts with Microsoft.
When Paul Daigle was shopping mid-size cars, he started with the usual suspects, Camry, Accord. Then he heard about our larger Saturn, the L Series, and got in touch with me to see how it stacked up. I was happy to pass along more details. Only trouble is you can't drive them, and a big part of appreciating this car is just driving it. Of course, I suspected Paul would assume I was biased. That's why I brought an Accord and Camry along, just in case he had any doubts.
The Volante crime family has many members, but only one belongs to the FBI.
You smell anything bad?
Foul Code begins CBS April 4th.
17:42 to play, first half. Pepperdine with a 5-1 lead. The scoring duties on this Waves team spread around. Brandon Armstrong, the only player to average double figures this season at just over 14 points per game.
But they do have the balance, and that's one thing that Jan Van Bredikoff really loves about this team, because he knows out on a given night, he's not sure who's going to produce the points, but they never really seem to be lacking for guys who are throwing the balance in.
You have one day. How difficult is it to prepare for this kind of style?
For Pepperdine, I think it's nearly impossible because they throw so many variations. You really have to just break it down to what do they do most and try to prepare for that 1 or 2, 3 things.
Archie called on the carry. He turns it over. And Oklahoma State gets the ball trailing by 2.
Pepperdine, on the other hand, Ian, they do play Friday, Saturday games a lot in the West Coast, so they're used to the quickness of another team coming at them.
Armstrong was coming at Montanati. He knocked the ball out of bounds with 27 left on the shot clock.
That was going to be a trap at half court. If they get you in the corner, they will trap immediately.
There's Gottlieb on a kick out. And he'll set things up.
See how often Mason touches the ball offensively.
Swing it out, Janzian on the baseline. Mason hanging. Offensive foul is called.
Mason walks right away from the call. Good heady play to just walk away, but it was a nice solid execution. Goes to the high spot, free throw line. He uses the baseline. Defender moving a bit underneath him, could be at the free throw line.
The 4th Cowboys turnover in the early going. Just about 3 minutes elapsed. Archie gives up his dribble to the post. Shepard outside, Prince a 3. Off the rim, Mason up high, and he tapped it in the direction of Atkins.
Gottlieb usually picks people apart. We'll see what kind of success he has against Archie.
Spreading the floor, the Cowboys, with Gottlieb getting it over to Atkins.
Middle of the floor wide open.
Pull up 3, short. Rebound to Prince.
Against that spread defense, the Cowboys will be able to put the ball on the floor and get 15-foot jumpers rather than 18-foot jump shots.
Oklahoma State 0 for 3 from the field. Inside, Shepard spinning. Gibbs, little pump fake. Dumps it off. In some traffic, Prince can't get it. Shepard with a second opportunity, and it's tracked down in the corner by Gottlieb.
Oklahoma State not getting anything to go down just then, but they are getting opportunities.
Up high. Look at Mason. He climbed the invisible ladder for 2.
How about the delivery also? Mason the other night against Hofstra showed so many different tools at the offensive end. They just have to find him, but not have him force his offensive game. I like the way they're just letting him kind of come to him a little bit.
But if you're Gottlieb, look at the margin of error you have to throw it up there.
True. I mean, that was a half-court one, but he's done that before.
Gibbs comes up short. He was looking for a whistle. Here's Gottlieb.
How about that one?
Wild pass, jumper. Joe Atkins, a 3.
Good spot up, too. Gottlieb knew exactly where it was on the floor. I mean, it's not the quickest way to get a guy a jump shot, but it's still very effective. And Atkins will knock it down for you.
Cowboys have their first lead. High post, Shepard hands for Archie. He pulls the trigger. In and out on a 3-point attempt. Gottlieb.
Good look.
Leak out by Janzian, and he lays it home.
See, after Pepperdine misses a shot, they can't get into their defenses that quickly. What the Cowboys are doing well is they're getting the ball to Gottlieb. Now, all of a sudden, Gottlieb is running the show, and you can just tell with his body language that his confidence is back.
A 7-0 run.
Nice hands again out front with the double.
Montanati leading the break. Montanati straight down the lane for 2. Pepperdine needs a timeout. Oklahoma State has woken up. It's 10-5, 14:46 left. First half.
Allstate joins every sports fan in America in cheering the team that has beaten the world at its own game. This year, they know we're coming.
Oklahoma State has climbed to a 5-point lead right now. Gottlieb is all of a sudden directing traffic. Little dipsy-do to the corner. Atkins knocks that one down. So the confidence brewing from the outside. Now, once again, notice no defender near Gottlieb. I mean, he'll pick you apart. They know that. Oklahoma State, they will run the floor. I'll tell you, if I'm on this team and he has the basketball, I'm busted to half court because he's going to find you.
And that's what they're doing. All 10 of their points have come in transition. Pepperdine has missed 5 in a row from the field. They're now 2 of 10 overall. And David Lalazarian has checked into the game. Attended the same high school as Doug Gottlieb of Oklahoma State. Former teammates there. Both went to Notre Dame and then transferred. And some action inside. Montanati.
And there may be a hold on the cut.
A timeout will step aside with 14:34 left. 10-5, first half.
This is your new business. And this is your new car. The new Volvo V40. Now get back to work. Every bit of Volvo for about $24,000.
I've known this guy 5 minutes. He's already giving me investment advice.
For a recommendation on your portfolio, please press 3.
I'm gonna pay for this.
What was I Should my 401k be all stock? Should my 401k be all cash?
Why didn't they write this last month?
My portfolio should be overweighted in game companies.
Why does this guy think what works for him? It's gonna work for me.
Thank you, Paine-Weber.
Nice seats. Watch this. Excuse me, sir. I trade you a Wendy's chicken nugget for your seat. Sure. This is more like it, man. I can do better. Nuggets for your seats?
Sure.
Wendy's chicken nuggets are irresistible pieces of all white meat. Best yet, they're just 99 cents. It's a small price to pay for great chicken.
Sir, nuggets for your seat.
How do you think I got here?
Don't forget the nuggets.
Faster, more reliable, higher quality, more profitable. Nortel Networks is building the new high-performance internet, and it can be whatever you want it to be. So tell us, what do you want the internet to be?
Come together right now over me.
The mission, get raised parents a social life.
Have you worked out a budget for this?
Will the plan self-destruct?
What am I supposed to do with this?
All new Raymond, CBS Monday.
Monday on CBS, when you're in trouble, these are the lawyers you want on your side. See for yourself what everyone is talking about. Catch an all-new episode of Family Law. That's Monday, right here on CBS. 10-5, Oklahoma State in front. Why don't we get the fashion portion of the broadcast out of the way? And the headbands that Pepperdine team members are wearing, that's to show off team unity, something they decided upon early in the season.
Absolutely, it brought them together. Jan Van Bredikov showing his team that they can be a little creative. And the other side of it, Oklahoma State went the other way, shaved their heads for team unity. So two different contrasting styles.
And a kickball call. Craig Lewis is coming to the game for Pepperdine.
So far defensively, Pepperdine got off to a pretty good start, a couple of early buckets, but it's been quiet since. They're 2 for 10 from the floor. Oklahoma State is known as a pretty good defensive team, senior-oriented, and they're working fairly well at the defensive end.
Cedric Sewitt has checked in as well.
A little matchup defense right now. Real active to the basketball.
Here's Tazell. Archie gives up his dribble. Lewis guns and hits a three.
Pretty good patience, too, around the side for Pepperdine that trip.
On the sideline, Mason, and Oklahoma State turns it over. Mason looking in the direction of Gottlieb, saying, hey, I need some help there.
Needs some help, but I'm not so sure he wanted the basketball at that particular time. I think Gottlieb on that particular trip has to read it just a little bit better. Now we'll switch back to man-to-man now. So both teams are going to start throwing the tricks, little switches. Nice step in.
Janzian on a feed cross court. Grundon Alexander off the mark. Janzian offensive rebound, but could not convert on the inside.
Good anticipation, though, by Janzian at the difficult end.
Lalazarian off penetration. Puts in the layup.
See how quickly they come down. When you come down defensively and start to hesitate, they'll pick you apart also with the wave. There's a little trap. Looking for the traps at half court if they can get it. There's a spot they'll look for one.
Oh, blitz around Gottlieb, and it forces another turnover. There's Lewis across.
That was executed defensively as well as you can.
Lalazarian. Now a rarity. You've got right-handers on the floor for Pepperdine.
That's a totally different look. Usually with the 4 starters, they bring 2 off the bench.
Armstrong's a lefty, foot on the line. Long rebound. Armstrong taps it up in the air. Lalazarian and Gottlieb, former high school teammates, bumping bodies, and Lalazarian picks up the personal.
That's the correct call, too. He had his on his shoulder as he went for the basketball. As we touched on, though, Pepperdine will come down the floor in a hurry, looking for opportunities. While Azarian going to the baseline, no one's stepping across, but that's quickness. That's how they like to play this game. Now look, they come out with a 1-3-1. Jan Van Bredekoff just switching it up constantly as a guard now. Oklahoma State, they have to be aware of it. It's going to slow them down a touch to figure out, hey, what is this defense?
Tommy Prince is coming to the game for Pepperdine, replacing Brandon Armstrong. In a 10-10 game, Jan Zien, the leaner. And the loose ball knocked out to Prince.
Good spot on the floor. Just have to get your shoulders going towards the basket, but they need to get those. Once they get it inside, they must convert and finish.
Suet looking for position. Armstrong calls out a play. Here's Archie. Inside the arc, and he drains it.
That's one of the things about Pepperdine as a team, and they were working on this before the game. Couple of dribbles, elevation, shot. They really worked hard at that, and that was paying off.
A 7-0 Waves run as they take a 2-point edge. Montanati.
Spoke to Sean Sutton, the assistant coach for the Cowboys before the game, and he said one of the things that's changing defenses, but when they get it down low, they have to score, and they're rattled defensively right now.
Montanati called for traveling, and Pepperdine has regained the lead, the 7th Oklahoma State turnover.
For Judging Amy, the address is CBS.
Enterprise? Hi, my car's out of commission, so I'm out of commission.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169. Pep Boys.
Cars like us. People love us.
What will communications be when it finally grows up? Satellite? Broadband? Wireless? Fiber optic? With technologies from Agilent, communications can grow up to be whatever it wants to be. Let's see what this baby can do.
Ming and I went on a trip down to Mexico. We noticed tons of surfers just eating fish tacos on the docks.
It's kind of like surf food as opposed to Mexican food. We're actually in the back of our main corporate office.
Now that we're growing, what we ran into is a lot of red tape.
That's why I leave all the banking to my little brother Mingo. See, he's got the short area.
That's where Merrill Lynch has stepped up. Dom found us the right people at Merrill to help us out. They saw past the shorts and t-shirts.
Where else in the world can a Chinese guy sell Mexican food? If this isn't the American dream, I don't know what is.
Are you a hardcore driver? Do you want an exciting car that's built tough? This is the Pontiac Grand Am. It's as hardcore as they come because it's the only car built with solid form design. Are you a hardcore driver? Grand Am by Pontiac.
Pepperdine has jumped out to a 2-point lead again, but when the offensive end, you see a situation here where Oklahoma State is going to try to get the basketball down on the blocks. For them to be successful, Jan Zien gets good position now. He comes back right, gets the basketball, and he delivers, but he doesn't finish the play. Just speaking with Sean Sutton before the game, that's the point. He said, if we're going to be successful at their end of the floor offensively, we need the big guys to score and finish. That will take some pressure off the perimeter. They got it there, but they didn't deliver.
Eddie's son, Sean, who you spoke with, is the top assistant on this Oklahoma State team. And Eddie's other son, Scott, a head coach at Oral Roberts. So keeping basketball in the family, same can be said. Inside and a two-handed jam. Cedric Suet.
Little set play, too. Offensive end at the floor. Pepperdine wants to get something easy, and Jan Van Bredekoff gets a set.
Oklahoma State handles the pressure, though. Weber, who just checked in, foul as he made his move to the rim.
Good set. Little patience over the top. You have a high screen. And here's the beauty of this play, though. Suet realizes that, hey, the first time up, I don't have a play to complete. Smart enough to go down and back up again. And here's just a basic 2-on-1 delivery. The difference there with Weber going after that rim solidly.
Seward picks up his first, 13th foul on Pepperdine, and Weber at the free throw line out of Searcy, Arkansas. Able to hit on the first. Oklahoma State down by 3.
And one of the things they have to do, Oklahoma State, against all these different types of defenses, and especially the traps, they must be active at the offensive end and try to create out of the traps. Don't be passive and let the guys double team you. Go at them and be active.
2 out of 2 for Weber. On the floor for Pepperdine, Archie, Lewis. There's Prince, who couldn't handle the pass out of bounds. Gibbs and Seward.
That was a good look, too, by Lewis just then. Prince really did not come around the screen quick enough, but he was wide open.
5th turnover from Pepperdine. Oklahoma State has Gottlieb, Atkins, Mason, Weber, and Janzian. Pepperdine will extend full court. They'll give you a couple of different looks on the defensive end.
They do it, and they switch constantly. The key is for them all to be on the same page because they switch so often.
Mason had it deflected, gets it back.
Prince maybe with a little grab there, got away with one.
There's Gottlieb firing inside for Janzian. Atkins off penetration to the rim. Off the back of the iron. Tap doesn't go for Weber. Inside, Atkins. Fighting for possession and a foul call. Tommy Prince was behind him.
Interesting how when they got the ball down low and kicked it out, that's what opened this all up again to get in a situation. But clearly a good call from the officials. See if they can continue to duck it down low.
Fast break points. That's where Oklahoma State has done its damage. In the half-court set, having problems. Janzian, the banker. No. Janzian again, and this time he puts it through.
I think the message has gotten through for Eddie Sutton's squad. Hey, let's get this ball on the blocks. Let's make them defend us down there, and then we'll be able to get kickouts for our perimeter shooters because they'll force us down deep and force Pepperdine to collapse down low.
First points we've seen from the Cowboys in the set offense, and we're tied at 14.
Mason really hasn't been a factor either at their end.
There's Prince on a spin.
Good stay just then. See how they all go left? Obviously, with their left hand, it goes a different flow this game on the left side of the floor.
Archie, a 3, way off. And some action underneath the basket.
That might be Mason away from the basketball.
Tommy Prince spilled to the floor.
And it's going to be on the left there. There's that little push by Mason. That's why Prince hit the floor. He gets around.
They have now called double fouls.
Wow.
On Prince and Mason. So the second foul assessed double foul for both players. So Desmond Mason have a tough time getting going. That was not the case in first round action here in Buffalo, where Mason started strong, finished strong. He's now picked up number 2. He scored only 3 points, 1 of 2 from the field. And Jan Van Bredikoff will send Prince and Seward to the bench. Shepard comes back in for Pepperdine.
Jan Van Bredikoff at Pepperdine really knows that Desmond Mason is so important to this Oklahoma State offense. And his focal point, he has an awareness concept on defense, Jan does. Basically, they're aware of this. They were against A.J. Guyton the other night for Indiana. When Mason touches the basketball, they want to have him give it up as much as possible and run a second guy at them.
Craig Lewis now in there for Pepperdine with 8 seconds left on the shot clock. They are just about at the halfway point, first half. 14-14. Pepperdine will have to work quickly. 5 to shoot. Lewis with 4. You know it, though. That's the problem. A long 3.
He didn't recognize that until about 1.5 seconds were left.
Shot clock violation. Oklahoma State with a chance to go in front.
That's just a mental breakdown. Not only with the guy with the basketball, but 4 other guys on the floor with him. Have to let him know that earlier.
There's Gottlieb directing traffic. Archie comes out to greet him.
Oh, look down low. There you go.
Weber to Janzian for 2.
That's the way to do it. You have to get that zone shifting in one direction, get it to the middle of the floor, and look opposite. The Cowboys have found a little hole at the offensive end.
And Oklahoma State leads by 2. Gibbs thought about it for 3. And a foul call.
We have a situation where a big man goes across to the middle of the floor. Now watch the look away. Beautifully done. Catch and look opposite, and you have some action against the defense that's shifting.
First foul on Alex Weber. That is the 15th foul on Oklahoma State. David Lalazarian back in for Pepperdine.
Back to the zone also. Oklahoma State protecting Mason a little bit.
Shepard battling Weber, and they'll get Weber. That's 2 quickies on him.
Always like to see the big guys play tough down low. Weber coming across, but clearly a couple of hands, one riding along the back of the Shepard's name on the back of his jersey. Boy, did he ever play well the other night, Shepard? They can give him those kind of interior numbers.
Montanati back in there for Oklahoma State. It's really been a ragged first half. No flow to it whatsoever on either end. Armstrong a 3. It's there.
A little bit of flow there if you don't step out on him.
5 points for Armstrong, and Pepperdine goes out in front by 1. There's Mason. Hits the 3.
The thing that impressed me the other night watching him just then, how he strides into his jump shot.
Armstrong able to stride into that one, but could not convert from long distance. Feet in the post, good position. A hook shot short from Weber.
They keep getting it down low, but the big guys must take their shoulders towards the basket.
There's the lob upstairs. Shepard the catch. Weber got a piece. And they'll call the foul.
Shepard just held Weber off the block areas. Put himself in a position where he could not only see the basketball in a good line, but catch and deliver. I think Weber may have slapped his hand just then. He comes down holding the elbow.
And it's number 3 on Alex Weber with free throws coming up for Shepard.
Holding the elbow. I thought he slapped the bottom of the glass up there, too.
Shepard at the free throw line. They'll get a second. Hit the bottom of the backboard with the hand. Strange injury as Weber was clutching both the hand and the elbow. Now they're looking at the wrist area.
It might have been one of those feelings when you hit your funny bone. You know, that little ring you get throughout your entire arm.
1 out of 2 for Shepard. 1-point game with Oklahoma State in front.
Little different look here once again. 1-2. Now this is just all over the place scrambling. They're looking for double teams as much as they can.
Janzian finds the open man, Montanati.
See how you start to hesitate against the defense? Montanati just then.
Mason, short. Lalazarian, the defensive rebound, and Mason does not look like the player we saw 2 days ago.
I think there's a little hesitation every so often with Oklahoma State coming down the floor, trying to figure out what kind of defense they're in.
Archie working off the screen, setting it up. Lalazarian, book it for 3.
Little slide away cut. A flare to the left wing. Not a good reaction defensively by the Cowboys.
5th assist for Tazell Archie.
So now you see the hesitation here. You look up and say, what's going on? Good stop.
Janzian swatted away by Shepard, but a foul.
See the opportunities. Little flare cut. Little jump shot from Lalazarian, knocking it down. Good solid basketball. What a catch, though. Thought it was a good block, clean up high. I think Shepard thought so also.
And it sends Frederick Janzian to the free throw line.
Look at the numbers at the free throw line the other night. 11 for 15. Plenty of opportunities.
Tommy Prince back into the game. He's worked about a year to get the hair in order. He's finally happy with the way it's developed.
It works for him, right?
Not Janzian, but Prince. Janzian just happy to get his hair back after shaving it at midseason. A timeout. 21-21, first half.
I'm serious. Whenever guys find out I have a cat, they freak.
You kidding me? I love cats.
Of course, my cat's not like other cats.
Well, sure he isn't.
He gets so jealous if anyone drinks my Bud Light. Anyway, I'll go get changed.
You're right. Stupid cats.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Oh, look at you, too.
Make it a Bud Light.
people. You can come out now. Look, I've got the wireless internet right here in my hand. No wires, no tricks. News, sports, shop, all online. And crystal clear calls, all right here. On Sprint PCS. That's right. Come on out. Welcome back to the world.
Experience the power of the Sprint PCS wireless web.
C'est joli. C'est mon endroit préféré de Paris. On a été ici toute la journée.
Wherever there is beautiful hair, without the slightest hint of a flake, there is Head & Shoulders. So with just the mere twist of a few strands,
c'est tellement romantique. Écoute,
he'll realize letting go may be the hardest thing he ever does.
moi j'adore tes cheveux.
I don't understand a word you just said, but keep on talking.
Head & Shoulders. Dandruff should never get in the way of being close.
Mud-free mud flaps. Bug-free grills. Some people treat SUVs like they're cars. At Isuzu, we don't build SUVs that get mistaken for cars. That's why we're not afraid to back them with America's longest warranty. Because we know it's more fun getting dirty than getting clean.
Think fast. Ooh, I'm sorry, are you okay? Well, that's gonna leave a mark.
Christy Swanson stars in Grapevine, all new CBS Mondays.
All tied up here in Buffalo. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Dwayne Ballard.
And doctors were looking at Alex Weber's right hand just now. They checked him thoroughly. He was complaining of pain, but they could detect nothing wrong. Said he simply had to shake it off with it.
Then you have to go with the stinger theory, where you just feel that pain for an instant and it might reverberate through the arm.
You saying you like my medical report?
Well, I think you nailed that one.
I get lucky once in a while.
21 apiece, 7:32 to play in the first half. Oklahoma State, third seed here in the East. Pepperdine, the 11th seed, and guarantee a lot of people walked away from that first round matchup scratching their head saying, I didn't know anything about this program. They go out, they dominate Indiana, beat them by 20, and strong performance so far here against the 3 seed. Lewis trying to save it, falls on the baseline, and he's called for traveling. Get a complete look at the starting lineups.
And there's the ball going out of bounds. You'll see him go and fall out of bounds. He was trying to call timeout, actually.
Attempted to do it, and they give it back. On a bounce, Montanati for Janzian.
Maybe a step. Jan Van Bredikoff thought so. I love the way Jan in the background on the sideline plays defense with his team. Hands moving, jumping around all the time.
Jumper Alexander. Too strong. Montanati trying to track it down, but Armstrong comes up with it.
Pretty good transition defense, though, by the Cowboys, getting back in a hurry.
Here's Lalazarian on the baseline. It's going the other way.
There may be a foul on this one. There may be a reason that he stepped out of bounds. Lalazarian again going to the baseline, but look at the bump. Now there's an official over here who can't see that particular angle. So you get an official from across the court that makes the call and helps him out.
Well, the personal foul called out on the baseline as Lalazarian tried to make his move. Montanati picks up his second foul.
I agree with the call. I mean, the call was a foul. He should be at the line.
Doesn't get the roll. Knocked out of bounds, and some action underneath.
Might be a foul with the push, I think. Shepard again inside, pushing around. The big guy's going after it.
Get a complete look at the starting lineups for all of the remaining tournament teams. For the fastest coverage online, it's March Mayhem, cbs.sportsline.com. America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. Team 7th foul, Pepperdine. Second personal on Shepard, sending Frederick Janzian to the free throw line. Janzian at 74%, a member of the Swedish national team, and gets the roll on the first. Tonight on 60 Minutes, who are the masters of the net? The internet, that is. They're taking the cyber world by storm. And why is the mayor of one of the world's hottest vacation spots giving visitors the cold shoulder? Find out tonight, 60 Minutes. Frederick Janzian putting up big numbers, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 of them offensive. And Oklahoma State leads by 2.
And that's vital for them to get interior play. He continues to play well as he did the other night.
Here's Lalazarian, a 3. Off the rim, Janzian with another goal. Atkins off a double. Inside, Montanati. Spinning to the rim. And a foul. Suet defended him one-on-one. And he will pick up his second personal.
Oklahoma State with a very good understanding of what's going on interior. Watch this spin and then get body contact. You lead with those shoulders, good things are going to happen, because even though the shot appears to be being cleanly blocked up high, there's body contact down low, and it's really being created by the offensive player. There's a knack at throwing your body at the basket and having a sense for how to get to the free throw line.
Brian Montanati has been a role player for this Oklahoma State team the last couple of years, but certainly more than that now, averaging over 12 points and 7 rebounds per game. Lalazarian to the bench. Kelvin Gibbs in for Pepperdine. Can't get the second. Janzian on the interior.
Little extra effort paying off for the Cowboys. One of the things Pepperdine's really going to have to focus in on at halftime, making some adjustments, if not before, how to seal off the interior play of the Cowboys right now.
Cowboys have their largest lead, under 6 minutes to play in the first half. Here's Lewis giving it up for Gibbs.
Good pressure on the perimeter right now. Oklahoma State gearing it up a little bit.
Shot clock is down to 12. Archie.
Good step across, forcing east to west.
A 3 for Gibbs, rimming out, and rebounded by Atkins.
Well defended, because Gibbs had to shoot a little bit of a floater that trip.
Atkins' acceleration, tried to swing it inside. Offensive foul is called. Atkins took it inside, and Gibbs gave up his body.
You have situations here where you get a friendly bounce, little tip miss, and all of a sudden the big fella puts one off the glass. But if they can get away with those easy buckets, you have to try to find quick, easy buckets against Pepperdine.
First foul on Atkins, and Doug Gottlieb comes into the game. Tommy Prince takes a seat, and Atkins goes to the bench. Free throws for Kelvin Gibbs, 66%. First team all West Coast Conference. And he's been very unselfish for this team. He was more of a scorer the last 2 years, and Gibbs 9 points per game this season, taking more of a backseat, allowing other players to step forward.
You know, a few of the guys on the team similar to that. And I think that's the mentality that Jan Van Bredikoff basically tried to put onto this team. They had a meeting in September before the season, got together a little chit-chat session where they talked about what they did well and what they can do well, so they could understand the process and get a little better feel for one another.
Off the missed free throw, 1 out of 2 for Gibbs, and a 4-point game. Cowboys lead it. Here's Gottlieb, watched out front by Archie.
Still in the zone, though. It looks like a man-to-man, but it's not.
Alexander can't hit the 3. Mason on a follow, that doesn't go.
Here comes some numbers if they hurry.
Pepperdine looking to run. Archie a pull-up pop. It's there.
Good decision just then by Archie. Armstrong, you may have noticed, ran the floor very, very quickly on the right side, forcing the defender to kind of look for him and stay with him. That allows you to pull up and do whatever you want from the outside.
Cowboys lead is 2, under 5 minutes to play first half. Desmond Mason has been quiet, 2 of 5 shooting.
There's the release to the weak side with a trap on the opposite.
Alexander can't get it to drop. Janzian got a hand on it, but Pepperdine controls it. Archie on the perimeter. Lewis comes out firing. Book it for 3.
Oh, is he looking good and feeling it too. Once again, the half-court set, shooting the basketball so much easier when you get it in stride, thinking shot before the ball even hits your hands.
Second 3 of the day for Craig Lewis. And Pepperdine leads by 1.
So important for Pepperdine to keep their focus. When they don't hit shots at one end of the offensive end of the floor, sometimes they lose the defensive intensity. They generally come back stronger after a make.
There's Janzian turning on Gibbs. Shot clock at 14. Montanati the jump shot. Rainbow delivery, no. Lewis taps it out to Gottlieb. Back inside. Janzian. And the follow, Montanati.
Not a bad tip out by Lewis. They just weren't ready to play defense after they got the basketball back.
points for Brian Montanati, and Oklahoma State up by 1. Lewis again off the mark. Knocked out of bounds. Pepperdine felt it came off Montanati, but the officials give the ball to Oklahoma State. 3:26 left, first half. Cowboys with a 1-point edge.
How do you want to fly? That's the question Delta's been asking. Because different people want different things. Every passenger has a request. What would yours be?
Just a minute. Poor baby. Wow, 125. I'll go download your homework.
The Microsoft Connected Learning Community. With internet software that connects, you'll never miss school. Sorry.
A company most people never heard of is changing the way we fight cancer and kidney failure by inducing the body to produce blood cells. Chemotherapy and anemia patients are gaining new strength. Helping to grow blood cells helped Amgen become the world's largest biotech company. Where do you learn about companies with such pioneering spirit?
Exactly. NASDAQ, stock market for the digital world.
I don't know where you're putting this dip, but I'll tell you.
Waiting for Grammy.
Where's Grammy?
In London.
We're waiting for the rates to go down.
You know, with AT&T's international plan, you could call now.
But we want the low rate.
You'd get their low rate all day, every day.
To the UK.
Wherever.
She won't answer it.
She thinks it's too early.
They'll be laughing about this for years.
Oh, yeah.
Great rates to the world, all day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Close game here in Buffalo as we look at the game summary. Neither team shooting the ball well. Offensive rebound, that's where Oklahoma State has done a lot of its damage with Frederick Yanzi at 12 points. 4 offensive boards. Coming up next, lots of action here on CBS. Tulsa, Cincinnati, North Carolina, Stanford from the south, Florida, Illinois in a 4-5 matchup, and here in Buffalo, Seton Hall taking on the 2-seed Temple.
It'll be interesting to see if Cincinnati can undo what Arizona could not do, losing a very vital player to them, and see if they can continue through the march.
The vital player for Oklahoma State, Desmond Mason, 2 of 5 from the field. He's been held to 6 points after scoring 30 in the first round. Atkins jump shot. He buries it, a 3.
A lot of people focus in on Mason, but Atkins is a deadly shooter also, and there was a good example of an attack by Eddie Sutton's squad. Pepperdine came at them with the trap at half court. They got it by, and boom, they looked for opportunities. It's a game of 2-on-1 and 3-on-2 advantage.
Armstrong, Gottlieb, ball hawking defensively with 2:50 to play first half.
A lot of dribbling this set, though, by Armstrong and a lot of stagnant players.
Shot clock is down to 13. Armstrong sees an opening, takes it for the layup.
Just like I said, keep dribbling until you find something good.
Brandon Armstrong has 7.
It took a while for him to develop, but he found the seam and took advantage of it.
He obviously knew something you didn't know on that particular set.
That's why I'm sitting here, my friend.
31-29. Cowboys. Montanati trying to force his way inside, and he does.
They figured out that you get it past the first wave of defenders and good things will happen if you think offense. A couple of sets, Oklahoma State was concerned, well, I get the ball past it, now what do I do with it? Now they're thinking offensive strength.
Andre Williams in the game for the first time today for Oklahoma State as we come up on 2 minutes to play, first half. Here's Archie on a bounce for Gibbs. Looking to the interior, Shepard is battling for position with Williams. Gibbs puts it on the floor. Good ball fake. The leaner, air ball. Gottlieb the board.
Watch his head now. He's always looking up the floor.
And Gottlieb will run the offense.
Settle back into a matchup zone right now. Here comes the lob. That's blowing up too high.
Broken up. Nick Shepard getting a hand on it, setting it up the other side. Armstrong air ball on a 3. Prince denied by Montanati, but Prince sticking with it for 2.
And how about that one little dribble at the end just then by Prince? The first time it didn't work for him. You generally don't want to dribble the basketball onto the basket, but very quick with it, one down and up.
Montanati head and shoulder fake, and a foul called on the arm. Montanati's going to the free throw line with his team up by 2. Coming up, Pennzoil at the half. Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg will bring you up to date on the latest tournament news. Plus, they'll take a look at Stanford's freshman sensation, Casey Jacobson. That's all coming up. Pennzoil at the half. Third foul on Nick Shepard. Montanati at the line, rimming out on the first attempt. And substitutions galore for Jan Van Bredekoff's team as Shepard goes to the bench. 4 new players come on the floor. Suet, Lewis, Minahan, and Lalazarian.
And the Shepard substitution is obviously one that Jan Van Bredekoff had absolutely no choice on.
Montanati missing. Oklahoma State's lead remains at 2 with 1 minute to play first half. Here's Archie giving it up, Lalazarian.
Half pretty much going the way you would anticipate with Pepperdine if they are knocking down shots, but defensively, they have just been all over the floor. And the Cowboys at times have figured things out and other times not.
The floater from Archie, no. And the rebound to Atkins.
Got a 3-second differential on the shot clock to game clock.
Oklahoma State leading by 2, and they are content in taking off some clock. They can basically hold for 1. Here's Gottlieb continuing on the dribble, spread the floor with Mason. Williams on a kick out. Shot clock is down to 6.
They were looking for Mason on the left. He's guarded though.
Gottlieb down the lane. Layup is good.
A guy who usually doesn't finish that well on his dribble drive.
Archie, half-court heave. Short at the buzzer. And that is how the first half ends. Oklahoma State able to get 2 on the board before these 2 teams headed to the locker room.
Many teams let him finish.
Oklahoma State at halftime leads Pepperdine 35-31. Right now, let's check in with Dwayne Ballard.
Coach Eddie Sutton, an odd first half. No real rhythm for either team.
Well, I think the way they press you and they trap you, it kind of disrupts your offense, and we certainly have turned the ball over too many times. I think defensively we probably played well enough, but we just got to do a better job taking care of the basketball and getting in the right offense when they change their defenses.
Coach Sutton, thank you very much. Ian?
All right, Dwayne, 35-31, Oklahoma State in front at halftime. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message.
There's always a combination of taking a knowledge and applying it. For example, I know who the shooter is. I know what he does, what he thinks, under stress, how he'll act, what's his favorite thing to do, what's his least favorite thing to do. And I got most of my rebounds before he took the shot.
Knowledge is the edge. At Invesco, it's the approach we use to make money for investors. You should know what Invesco knows.
This is my invention. The silverware instrument. C'est les lunettes éclairantes. You could slide them, but they don't slide by themselves. It worked. It worked. Headlight. It could change somebody's life. 24-hour sunburns. That is the greatest idea I've ever came up in my whole life.
Look out. There's a new faucet in town. Introducing the new pull-out spray from Delta with a radical new design, combining beauty, practicality, and just a touch of attitude. Delta, the faucet.
Doing more, performing at my best, uses up nutrients.
New Centrum Performance helps replace them with more key B vitamins plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance. Life demands it.
Look! Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I'm Greg Gumbel in New York. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, we'll have the latest tournament news and a look at Stanford's Casey Jacobson after this message and a word from your local station.
The rugged Montana from Pontiac. It's nimble enough to tame the dusty trail. Pretty handy for life's twists and turns.
Never seen a minivan do that before. Maybe it's not really a minivan.
Life is more exciting in Montana. Now, rope a rugged Montana with this limited time offer. By Pontiac.
An unbelievable custody battle.
No judge is going to pack a 6-year-old off to the Himalayas. Ryan is the reincarnation of the High Lama.
All new Family Law, CBS Monday.
For Jag, the address is CBS.
Land Rover Discovery's advanced technology, smooth ride and stable handling will appeal to the right side of your brain. And its $3.99 a month lease will appeal to the, well, actually, that's the right side too.
Was that for me? Go. Okay.
All right, watch suction, please. I need 10 cc's of adrenaline. 10 cc's.
He's redlining. Get the crash cart. Stand. Charging. All right, pals, I got it.
Cold-filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft.
Thanks.
Our boy's back.
Never miss a genuine opportunity.
In any business, there can be only one priority. At Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we have never forgotten ours. Not surprisingly, we measure success a little differently.
It's here to clear the air.
I can see clearly now.
Toyota's Blue Sky Spring Event, where great cars, excellent values, and a gigantic selection come shining through. Now get $1,650 in extra value package savings on a new 2000 Tacoma 4x4. That's a $1,650 savings. Your new beginning is here.
It's gonna be a
The Blue Sky Spring Event at your Toyota dealer.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half. Sponsored by Pennzoil. Specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Welcome back to our New York studio and to Pennzoil at the half, everyone. Our score after 20 minutes of second-round action in Buffalo. Oklahoma State 35-31 over Pepperdine. Another typical Tournament 2000 game. We've watched this first half. We don't know which way it's going.
Exactly, and it's going to be a toss-up throughout the second half as well. But one of the ways Oklahoma State can give themselves a chance to win is by successfully attacking the changing defenses and the zone of Pepperdine. Here we take a look at Gottlieb. He's going to get the ball to the left wing. Alex Weber is going to move over to the foul line area and receive the pass. Look how the Pepperdine defense shifts. All 5 green shirts on the other side of the lane. Frederick Janzayan actually cuts down to the baseline. Weber gives him a nice pass. The key here is you've got to receive the ball and then immediately look away from where you got it from. Look diagonal, and that's what Oklahoma State did there. They'll need more of that in the second half.
Frederick who?
Janzayan.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the road to the Final Four continues, 4 games will get underway at 2:15 Eastern Time, including North Carolina against the top seed in the South, Stanford. That game will afford us the opportunity to watch Casey Jacobson in action. He came to Stanford this past September as a freshman, eager to please and to prove he belonged. Now the cardinal rule is to get the ball to Casey. It's time now to make the case for Casey, Stanford's leading scorer, Casey Jacobson. center of attention in high school, he was wanted by every college, but all he wanted in college was a chance.
Jacobson on the board!
I think a lot of players, maybe on other teams or in the past, have come in with a very impressive high school resume and maybe had a big head and thinking that college is going to be just the same. And I definitely didn't think that. I have two older brothers that play college, and they were preparing me for what was going to happen.
When we had neighborhood games and invited all of our friends, he would walk out there, just as brave as could be and say, I want to play. And, we'd laugh and push him aside and say, you're too young, you can't play with us. Aside from that, I think also just watching Adam and I compete at the Division I level, he saw us, he saw what we did well, he saw what we did wrong.
I think my family as a whole maybe give me an advantage over people that I play against because I've been around basketball my whole life. It's all I know. I've been in so many college locker rooms and met players and talked to my brothers after great games and bad games, and we talk about their successes and their failures and why they either succeeded or didn't. I'm still very close to my brothers now, and we analyze the games I play at Stanford here, and I think they're a huge influence on the way you see me as a person and the way I play on the basketball court.
He has taken flight for the Cardinal, but at first he was grounded on some unfamiliar terrain. The bench.
I've almost started every game that on every team that I've ever played for before until I got here. And so it was a unique experience to start the game. The ball's up in the air, and I'm on the sideline, not on the floor, and that was a weird adjustment for me. I wasn't upset at anybody or anything, but I was very anxious to get in the game. I really badly wanted to be on the floor. My butt was just burning on that sideline. I just wanted to get in so bad.
14 games into the season, Casey made his first start for Stanford, and the Cardinal has rarely soared so high.
I'd like to be remembered as like a mentally tough player, a player that maybe when I'm out of here, maybe the coaches will show past players some film of me. I mean, when it's all said and done, I have no idea what people are going to say about me, but hopefully it's good things.
Clark, whenever we're talking about Stanford, we always talk, it seems, about Mike Madsen, but Mike Montgomery loves Casey Jacobson on the floor.
He certainly does. You look at that piece, and it reminds me of somebody that's grown up in a family business. There's an inherent understanding of the nuances of business. In the case of basketball, Jacobson has not only talent and savvy, but he's got confidence, and that's a nice travel pack to carry anywhere.
You bet. Later today, the last group of second-round games will begin at 4:40 Eastern Time, and among them, Tennessee will match up against Connecticut. Now, the latest word out of Birmingham is that UConn guard Khalid El-Amin will play. This is footage from the Huskies' practice this morning, and clearly that high ankle sprain he suffered on Friday will inhibit him from performing at 100% of his ability. We shall see. Thanks for watching Pennzoil at the Half, everyone. Ian and Jim are ready to call the action for the second half between Pepperdine and Oklahoma State. We'll rejoin them courtside in Buffalo when the road to the Final Four continues here on CBS.
Pennzoil at the Half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Hey! He's in the garage.
Hey!
If you're going to have a garage, have a garage. And if you're going to use an oil, use an oil. Pennzoil with Pure Base, specially formulated for stop-and-go driving.
Like what I've done with the place? Hey, what does this do? Well, that opens up the roof so I can airlift anything in or out of the garage.
Stop. Go. Pennzoil.
Some things just don't mix.
Hey! Yeah!
Like drinking and driving.
Oh, yeah!
A coach is there for guidance. A coach is there to give hope. A coach is there with answers. That's what the American Cancer Society is for people who are battling cancer. A coach. A coach. In the most important game of all. Life. Life.
Life. Hope, progress, answers.
Last year, he stormed the golf world. Now, Sergio Garcia, El Nino, roars into Augusta National. A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
Oklahoma State leads at the half. We'll return to Buffalo after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Chevy Blazer. A little security in an insecure world. Blazer, like a rock.
Jason Gedrick stars in Falcone, beginning April 4th on CBS.
I'm sure you're pretty scared right now, but try to relax. In a couple hours, you're going to wake up with a brand new ticker. Listen, I'm really excited to try this. My ear, nose, and throat practice has just gotten so dull. And sinusitis, boring. So I was up all night reading about the heart, and I think I got a handle on it. So from 10. No, oh, sorry.
Proxicom, e-business, our only business.
Up to here in off-road is no time to discover your truck's off-road package is little more than decals, when what you really need is a burly, overbuilt suspension. Solid steel and high-tech composite skid plates, big, honking 17-inch wheels, and special tires. The new and very different 2001 Dodge Ram Off-Roadster. It draws a new line in the mud. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance on 2000 model year Rams.
Don't panic the clients, but we gotta get out of RHP now.
What just happened?
I'd like to introduce our new CEO and my kid brother, Tommy.
CEO!
See the story behind the numbers. Go to cbs.marketwatch.com.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Bud Light, B.F. Goodrich Tires, Fidelity Investments, and by Chevrolet Trucks.
Niagara Falls just outside the city of Buffalo, with Oklahoma State leading 35-31. Well, your Oklahoma State head coach Eddie Sutton, your top scorer, your best player, has been held to 6 points, Desmond Mason. Yet you go to the locker room in front. Satisfied?
I think he has to be satisfied with a lead. You're always satisfied with that. And I think one of the things he's most satisfied with that his front line has gotten 19 points down on the blocks.
Take a look at the halftime stats, and neither team shooting the ball well. 40% for Oklahoma State. They have the 4-point edge, and Pepperdine 39%. Rebounding, Oklahoma State has done some good work underneath the boards. And a far cry from the performances that we saw 2 nights ago. Pepperdine with a 77-57 win over Indiana, and Oklahoma State with a 20-point victory over Hofstra. Circus pass from Gottlieb, knocked out of bounds. 10 seconds elapsed here in the second half.
From the situation right off the bat, you would guess that the Cowboys are going to try to look down low and look for those opportunities that they found in the first half. Let's see if Pepperdine has made any adjustments.
Oklahoma State shot 54% as a team from the field in their first round win over the Flying Dutchman.
Now keep in mind, though, these teams play defense much, much better than they do, and they're much more athletic.
Well, the shot clock winding down. Cowboys turn it over. Let's check in right now with Dwayne Ballard.
I spoke with Coach Ben Bredikoff a short while ago. He said he feels fortunate to be down just by 4 at the half, considering the way they played. He wants his team to cut down on sending Oklahoma State to the free throw, no more fouls, and he feels their best ball is ahead of them.
Shepard with the bucket on the interior, and he'll go to the free throw line, a chance for 3.
Watch the seal, too. Shepard just a big wide body down low, seals the defender off. as soon as you catch the ball there, regardless of your size, you better have some good things happen to you. A nice adjustment by Pepperdine, a team that thinks outside most of the time, but a little start off post up at their first sequence offensively.
Second personal on Frederick Janzian. 5 points for Shepherd. 35-34 Cowboys. Some pressure in the backcourt.
Quick dribble by Mason, a turnover without the catch. And a little sloppy. Janzian not looking at the basketball cleanly.
First possession, stepped out of bounds. Second possession, Janzian could not handle it.
That started because Mason caught the ball on the right wing, put it on the floor once, picked it up, and that allows you to start your defensive pressure.
11 Cowboy turnovers. Archie. Pepperdine looking to go out in front. Armstrong trying to drop the pass off to Gibbs, but Montanati stepped in front. Gottlieb running the break and cruises in for the layup.
See, Gottlieb doesn't connect on his layups, believe it or not, that much, especially when he's in opportunities where there are defenders. And you notice Pepperdine just kind of let him take a full court layup just then. I mean, you have to knock that one down.
A 41% shooter off the deflection. Shepherd got tied up with Janzian. And another foul called on Frederick Janzian, his third. Near the conclusion of every NCAA tournament game, we will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. To date, Chevrolet has contributed over $8 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. Janzian to the bench, and Andre Williams checks in.
Well, that's the save Janzian for the important time of this game. Still plenty of time here. They don't need him getting 4 fouls.
Cowboys lead by 3. Mason knocks it out of bounds. Pass was intended for Armstrong. 24 seconds left on the timer. Pepperdine went to the NIT last year. 3 years ago, this team was 6-21. Now at 5-8. Inside Gibbs with a deuce.
Pretty cut, baseline cut with a screen working down low. That's a better move by Mason here, attacking a little bit, not weighing back.
Gibbs with his first field goal. Oklahoma State up by 1. Gottlieb weaving. On the outside, jumper from Atkins, no. Gibbs taps the ball to himself. Knocked out of bounds by Oklahoma State's Montanati.
Why did that jumper have a little air under it, huh? Here's the baseline cut. Gibbs taking it to the hole. That's the beauty of being a left-hander. You notice how the defender jumped towards the right side of the body. Instinctively, defenders jump towards the right side shooting hand because that's who you play against more often than not.
37-36 Cowboys. Gibbs with a bounce inside. Good entry for Shepherd and a foul call.
A little adjustment by Jan Van Bredekoff at the half. Just like the Cowboys did in the first half, they're trying to seal. You see the seal down low, a good delivery, high-low action. But the big fellas, Shepherd, Gibbs, starting to use their wide shoulders, their wide bodies to position themselves for easier opportunities.
Andre Williams was back on his heels, and he picks up his first foul. Third team foul on Oklahoma State early in the second half.
See the patience, they're looking down.
Armstrong, long jump shot, and Montanati on the weak side with a rebound.
Before he shot that, though, he had the eyes focused on the interior.
Montanati, the jumper, inside the arc, may have been deflected.
Archie, I believe, got a piece.
Archie to Prince. He'll stroke it. Well short. And Gottlieb able to save.
Gottlieb wants to get this going up and down a little bit to try to pick apart the defenses. The good transition by defense by Pepperdine forces them to go their half-court sets. Wow.
Williams could not handle the pass at a break opportunity, but Pepperdine will take their time.
Neither team has put together a run.
Look at the cut by Shepherd, and he rocks the rim.
And a couple of the Cowboys are kind of looking around saying, whose guy was that, whose responsibility? And clearly, there was a breakdown.
And it's Pepperdine who's come out with the energy here in the second half.
And it's low post energy, too. They're big guys that responded from a challenge.
Timeout, Oklahoma State. Eddie Sutton wants to get his team in order. They now trail Pepperdine, 38-37, second half.
My dad was a coach at Georgia School for the Deaf. I grew up in an environment where deaf kids kind of adopted me in their culture.
Thank all of you for coming to the camp today.
When I first went to Merrill Lynch, I was very impressed with Steve Malone. He was very easy to talk to, and he listened well.
So it's important for all of us to listen well and to cooperate. Every day you're building your future.
Pepperdine jumps to that 1-point lead. Watch Montanati right here defensively. See if he gets back in his position. He stands, ball, he looks at the ball, now all of a sudden Cutter. Hey, where's the defensive help? He puts his hands up. Is that my man? Yeah, that was your man, at least to block him, put a little body bump on him.
And a great look from Tazell Archie to set things up. By far, he's been the team's most improved player. He wasn't even assured a starting spot when this season started. He won that job over Robert Bombi. Mason a 3, and they needed it.
They need Montanati to do just what he did also. Catch the ball, turn, and make something happen. He can handle the ball a little bit. You got to play point forward from that spot after you get past the trap.
Oklahoma State leads by 2. And Mason now has 9. Out on the perimeter. Here's Prince on a spin, picked up by Mason. Lewis now in the game for Pepperdine.
Good help by Montanati, good reactions.
Mason went for the steal. Prince, the leader, is good.
Once again, that extension with the left hand. Good ball movement to the weak side. But these lefties are really extending. They all do it the same way.
Montanati pull-up jumper, and he knocks it down.
There he is playing that forward point almost. Catch the ball past the first wave, turn. You should be by yourself. Make a guy react. If no one comes out, take your jumper.
9 points for Montanati. Oklahoma State 42. Pepperdine 40.
A little better rhythm for both teams now.
Archie gets it upstairs. Shepard, good catch, and banks it home.
What's he doing shooting with his right hand? Avoiding the block that time, huh?
9 points for Nick Shepard. That's his season average.
There's a better reaction to Montanati.
Trying to break the tie. Mason can't hit the 3 from the side. Archie leads the Waves down the floor with his team all tied up with Oklahoma State 42-42.
Their half-court sets have been focused on the interior.
There's Prince. Just over 5 minutes gone by, second half.
Shepard still up high. They're going to look deep.
There's Shepard matched up with Weber. Shepard, short pop. Count it.
Notice that Shepard started at the free-throw line for about 10 seconds. Waited, and then felt a roll opportunity. This fellow looks a little tired. He's trying to pump his arms up and down to get his team on the bench excited.
The fifth-year senior has a soft touch on that jump shot. He's given Pepperdine a 2-point lead.
Haven't met many left-handed guys who don't have soft touches with their jumper.
You're just saying it's innate.
Sometimes it is, I think.
Atkins is a right-hander, and he has a soft touch as he put it home on the running one-hander. 44-44.
Gottlieb with the reach. Hand check from behind.
Things turning around in the second half for Pepperdine. Underneath the basket, they're getting some points. A timeout. 14:02 to play in regulation, all tied up.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America, the greatest land of all.
Introducing Chevy Impala. Designed, engineered, and built to be the most carefree car on the road.
See the
Let's go for a drive. Impala. We'll be there.
Good evening, folks.
Hold the door, hold the door. Hey, hold that elevator. Hold it. One more. Whoa. Hey, open the door. Somebody get that, please. People, somebody press the button. Frank, come on, I can see you in there. Please open the door. Hey. Now, come on, we're reasonable people here.
Hey, look.
Oh, that's my Bud Light.
Hit it, Frank.
Whoa.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
I can't shake them.
What's going on?
Make it a Bud Light.
Uniroyal tires with nail guard seal most tread punctures. Instantly. Permanently. And repeatedly. Nail guard tires. Only from Uniroyal.
Doing more, performing at my best, uses up nutrients.
New Centrum Performance helps replace them with more key B vitamins plus ginseng and ginkgo.
It helps energize my mind and body. Life's demanding, but I thrive on it.
Centrum Performance. Life demands it.
Buzz Aldrin and I don't take the same approach to investing. I like trading at home. Buzz trades from far away. Gotcha. We do, however, share the same new way to trade online.
Introducing Power Street by Fidelity, with the tools you need to trade your way, whether online, two-way pager, or the new Palm 7 handheld computer.
And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to use it.
Speak for yourself, Bob.
PowerStreet@Fidelity.com. Online trading gets personal.
Prepare for the unexpected,
You're about to have a baby. No.
the outrageous.
My dog's been shot. Please help him.
All new City of Angels, CBS Wednesday.
Pepperdine and Oklahoma State even at 44. What they found is Nick Shepard down low. Watch him take the delivery, use his right hand to avoid the block. He's another left-handed shooter. And watch this little soft touch down deep. Little catch, little cross on the big guy and away from him now. You can't get a block shot from the right side of his body. It was just little touch shot, good soft move there by Nick Shepard.
Strong second half for the transfer from LSU. He left the Tigers when Dale Brown retired. Shepard has really bought into what Jan Van Bredikoff has been preaching, the up-tempo style. You need to have your big man buying into the philosophy for it to work.
Absolutely, and you have to get him some touches occasionally, especially if you're going to get him to buy into it.
Keep him content.
You don't want to get those big guys mad at you.
Here's Armstrong. Lost his footing, and he's called for steps.
And that's a break for Pepperdine because if not the travel, it would have been a charging call.
Reset the lineups for you. Atkins, Alexander, Montanati, Yanzian, and Mason on the floor for Oklahoma State. Armstrong, Archie, Gibbs, Lewis, and Seward for Pepperdine.
Little trap at half court.
Cut by Montanati. Extra pass. Atkins on a pump fake.
Montanati, is a very big key for this offense for them. If they can get him the touches, that forces down the defense to really rotate from side to side.
Shot clock is down to 8. Yanzian with 7. Atkins finds the open man. Mason a 3. And Gibbs up high to get it.
A pretty patient set there. Oklahoma State understanding the clock situation. That's a shot they can take and live with.
Archie setting things up. High screen set by Gibbs. All tied up. 44-44. There's Lewis on a drive. Kick out. Armstrong's 3. And a long rebound. Ricochets out of bounds.
A couple of moments ago, the rhythm in this game was getting better. Now the defenses have both taken over, not allowing offenses to get in gear. And you have the changes at half court here again.
Pepperdine has gotten its field goal percentage up to 45%. They are 6 of 9 in the second half. Any surprise this has been as close as it's been?
No, not really. One of the things that makes me say that is Oklahoma State having trouble with the defenses. So I thought it might be a close basketball game because of the switching defense.
Montanati off the mark. Here's Archie. Pull up for 3. Short. And Yanzian able to snatch the defensive rebound.
Good balance, too, defensively just then. Pepperdine not getting back down the floor offensively.
Last touch, Lewis out of bounds. Shot clock reads 29. 12:09 on the game clock. You'd figure the lower scoring game may favor Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State has the kind of style that they'll try to counterpunch what you do.
A little better half court, too.
Armstrong's 3. Brendan Alexander able to knock it down from long range.
And on cue, they execute the half-court set just then, and it's also important for them, Oklahoma State, to get some buckets down low again, as they did in the first half.
Alexander, he's that designated gunner from the bench. 7 ties, 13 lead changes. Largest lead has been 5 for Oklahoma State as Lewis zigzagged to the rim and a foul call. 11:38 mark, second half. Oklahoma State with a 3-point edge. Our coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue on CBS.
No down payment. Low financing on Honda Valkyries and Goldwings. Low payments on Valkyrie, Shadows, and Magnas with the Honda card. It's the road to savings. Incredible deals on some incredible Hondas. So hurry to your Honda dealer during the road to savings.
Bad cheetah.
See?
That's why I'm not a cat person.
A little stress? Bet us online investors aren't helping your blood pressure.
Online? I'm on Wall Street, a professional.
My online broker lets me see stock quotes the same way they see them at the exchange.
You do not see them continuously, not as the market's moving.
Actually, I do. Say ah.
Ah.
That's why Daytech calls it Streamer.
Very well.
Daytech Online. The rules are changing.
You want to be out in this?
Somebody is.
What happened? I need your help. I'm off the road.
Chevy Silverado, with the most powerful V8 of any competitive 4x4 pickup. The 300-horsepower Silverado. The truck from Chevy.
I gotta get me one of those.
Was he, as one prominent Catholic called him, Hitler's Pope? More pro-Nazi than the present Pope is willing to concede? 60 Minutes tonight.
Take a look at our Microsoft data bank. Eddie Sutton and Jim Boeheim are the only two coaches to make a Final Four appearance with the same schools they played for in the NCAA tournament. Sutton, of course, with Oklahoma State, and Boeheim with the Orangemen of Syracuse, who are in the Sweet 16, and now the Cowboys are hoping to get there. Sutton with tons of experience, 4 different schools he's taken to the NCAA tournament, and Patsy Sutton on board for another run through the NCAA tournament. Last year, a second-round loss to Auburn. Their last Sweet 16 appearance, 1995, when they went all the way to the Final Four. And getting points on the inside, Pepperdine.
Shepherd again with that easy catch underneath your own basket defensively. You must force it out to the wings. You cannot allow that little easy touchdown deep.
13 points for Shepherd, 5 of 6 shooting. And a foul called on the outside as Mason made his move.
One of the few times in this game that we've seen Mason catch the basketball and really explosively go into one of his sets to get an offensive shot off.
Tommy Prince, number 3, stops the clock with 11:16 to play in the second half. Just the first team foul on Pepperdine. Oklahoma State has 5.
Oh, boy, is that ever dangerous against this team.
Alexander, dish off for Atkins, baseline drive. Underneath, Atkins twirling his body, but unable to finish.
Just never had a good angle after the drive, which was a sensational drive along the baseline.
In the half-court set, Pepperdine trailing by 1. Here's Archie, has 10 assists. Kick out, Prince to Gibbs, a 3. Off the window, doesn't go.
That's where Jan Van Bredekoff wants them to score. And half-court sets down low, so they don't have to live and die with that.
Atkins on a crossover. His banker rolls in.
Sat up there for a while. Oklahoma State getting better penetration off the dribble with their guards right now. Pepperdine allowing the catch and go.
10 points for Atkins. Oklahoma State leads by 3. Here's Armstrong.
See if they can get Shepherd involved down on the blocks.
It is Shepherd getting a touch off the double team. Able to dump it off. Pounds blocked away by Williams.
And quick recovery. I thought that was an easy 2.
Mason dumps it down low, and Yanzian is fouled by Gibbs.
A very quick reaction from the basketball, keeping the body away. Well timed by Williams. And then they get an opportunity to go back down the floor with it in a hurry.
Andre Williams, the only freshman on the team. Free throw for Yanzian, 13 points. He is 5 of 5 from the line. Monday on CBS. If your parents lived right across the street, how far would you go to stop them from always hanging out at your place? You won't believe what Ray does to get his parents a social life. An all-new Raymond, Monday on CBS. And Yanzian connects on both. He'll go to the bench. Montanati checks in for Oklahoma State. And the Cowboys lead it by 5. Archie, Lalazaria, Shepherd, Armstrong, and Prince on the floor for Pepperdine. Cowboys equal their largest lead. Lob upstairs. Shepard. Kick out. Prince lines it up. Can't hit the three. In and out. And the rebound to Alexander.
Well executed, though, the high-low. I thought Shepard had an opportunity to go straight to the basket with that one.
Atkins has it taken away by Armstrong. Here's Archie crossing over. Whips a pass over to Lalazarian. Archie sets up the three. Side rim. And Lalazarian was held by Montanati.
I was going to make a mention about Montanati, too, Ian, with trying to avoid fourth fouls, and he just picked that up. Defensively, very sharp, though. Pepperdine Armstrong with the opportunity to push it down. And that's a very big call right there against the Cowboys. With his fourth foul, they lose that ability to have him playing that little bit of a point forward that they were successful for about 3 or 4 minutes.
So Montanati is forced to the bench. Atkins will join him there. Gottlieb and Janzian come in. And the 6th team foul on Oklahoma State. Next one will put Pepperdine in the bonus. Out on the perimeter, Armstrong. And he's called for travel. Little shake and bake before he put it on the floor.
One of those unforced, though, really. There's the step and the other step, and it's a good call from the officials. Look at Gottlieb. He's officiating also.
Brandon Armstrong been held to 7 points after scoring 22 in the first-round victory over Indiana. There's Mason trying to get around Prince.
Prince doing a pretty good job of bottling him up again.
One of the best defenders on the West Coast.
They're looking for him. They just can't get it to him.
Alexander outside. Gottlieb, another reset with 9 to shoot. Archie watching him. Inside, Janzian using the body. The fadeaway.
Pretty good patience, and Gottlieb really running the show well. And you have to give credit to 5 guys on the floor for the Cowboys because they were very patient. They worked the entire shot clock to get a good look.
A 9-0 Oklahoma State run. Lalazarian can't hit it. And the Cowboys look to increase their lead of 7.
And looking to increase their point production down on the blocks also. Janzian a factor in the first half.
Moving without the ball, Mason rewarded.
Mason's not looking to force it either, which is a smart basketball play.
There's Gottlieb on a cross. 7 to shoot.
Wow, does he find people?
Alexander a 3. No. Lalazarian battling for the loose ball. And last touch Williams of Oklahoma State out of bounds. 7:58 to play, second half. Oklahoma State with its largest advantage of the day.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
We've got a couple nice SUVs, a new convertible, some minivans. The crooks hide the cars behind boxes and smuggle them out of the country. You can be out here all day and not find one. One day we got 17. By making it hard for car thieves to do business, we're making it cheaper for you to do business with us. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
It's my duty to inform you that you've been charged with murder.
Murder, sir?
Tommy Lee Jones.
What do you think? I think they're out to crucify you.
Samuel L. Jackson.
The crowd in front of the embassy had no weapons, did they, Colonel?
Yes, they had weapons. They were killing my Marines.
This is a tape from the embassy. What if the crowd did fire first? Forget this guy. I don't want it to exist.
Withholding evidence is no less evil than charging my client with murder.
Rules of Engagement, rated R. Starts April 7th in theaters everywhere.
Celebrating my Team Monte Carlo.
Now, the first thing you've got to do is jump up here and scream and yell, woo! Make sure your hat guy pulls them first, so you don't end up looking like a dork. Now, when somebody hands you one of these babies, make sure you say thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man, don't eat the check.
Want to be like Jeff Gordon? Drive the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy, we'll be there.
Peter Friedman gets top-notch advice in everything he does. So why doesn't he get top-notch advice when he invests online? Simple. He doesn't know he can. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Coming up Monday on CBS, Grapevine's got game. Critics agree the more Grapevine you watch, the more enjoyable it becomes. Don't miss an all-new Grapevine. That's Monday on CBS. 53-46, Oklahoma State with the lead. 7:58 to play in the second half. Pepperdine in their first-round victory over Indiana. Blazing hot from three-point range, 53%. Today, a different story entirely.
When I was speaking with Jan Van Bredekoff before this game, Ian, one of the things he did say was he was hoping that his team would not live and die with the three-point stripe. So far, it's not been in their favor. Both of these teams have to really test one another again down low on the blocks. That's where these close basketball games are won and lost, on the blocks.
Big possession for Pepperdine with Lalazarian's jump shot. Rainbow delivery. And he buries it.
And that one little dribble allows him to shoot the ball from 3 or 4 feet closer.
Gottlieb just avoided a 5-second call. Pressure again in the backcourt. Alexander being forced to bring it up.
When you drop that dribble and stop it, it's going to be a timeout, I believe, because there's 26 seconds on the shot clock.
53-48, Oklahoma State.
To see inside the human heart, a doctor once needed a scalpel. But with ultrasound systems from Agilent Technologies, doctors can now spot problems that once went undetected. And sometimes even fix them without surgery. To see inside the human heart is to sometimes see relief.
Tournament summary. Top 3 seeds in the West region have all fallen to Wisconsin, Purdue, and Gonzaga. 14 games decided by 5 points or less. The West Coast Conference 3-0 in the tournament, and a chance to make it 4-0 if Pepperdine can pull off the victory against Oklahoma State. First of 2 games here in Buffalo with Temple and Seton Hall coming up. They had just 1 second left to get it across the line before taking that timeout in a wise move.
Yeah, I think that came from the bench also, that timeout. They'll get the fresh 10 right now to get it across.
Only 20 seconds remaining on the timer. Gottlieb with Archie. Gottlieb, penetration. The leaner. Off the glass, it rims out. And a long rebound to Archie.
They want to force him to make shots.
Lewis a 3. Side rim. And Gottlieb grabs the board.
It's an interesting concept with Gottlieb.
No look feed. Great look for Janzian.
And that was Gottlieb again triggering it. He's so much more effective passing the basketball than he is taking it to the goal.
18 points for Frederick Janzian, and Gottlieb with a dazzling pass. 7th assist. Lalazarian inside the arc. Shepard trying to battle, knocked in the air, and controlled by Mason.
Not too many looks down low again. The quick shot.
Gottlieb is fouled near the midcourt line by Armstrong.
Gottlieb will pick you apart on the break. Look at the look away. I'll tell you, Janzian is getting down the floor, just beating people down the floor, and if that occurs with a big guy, Gottlieb will find you and do some damage.
Just the 3rd team foul called on Pepperdine, and the first on Armstrong. Chance to extend the lead. It's currently 7. Jumper from Mason, a 3.
He has let the game find him. That's one of the things that I think has been most impressive this afternoon with him. He has not hunted down a bad shot. Some superstars and good players really try to do too much. He has not.
Toe was on the line. They give him a 2-pointer. And now Oklahoma State has its largest lead.
And they're showing that they're a pretty good defensive team also.
Lalazarian for Armstrong. 10 to shoot under 6 minutes to play. Armstrong zigzagging to the rim. Creative shot. It doesn't go down.
You don't need creative shots, though, at this point in the basketball game. You need good fundamental options down low, especially with Shepard.
Chance for the Cowboys to bring the lead to double figures. 3-pointer. Atkins buries it. Oklahoma State pulling away. 60-48. Cowboys. Second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, Metro Airways 56. Trans-Europe Express. Frankfurt, Rome.
Oklahoma State stretching this lead up a dozen, and they are starting to pick people apart, and it's really Gottlieb doing the job, finding open shooters on the floor. Atkins with some rhythm, knocking it down at a clip of 35% on the season, so you know he can knock it back. So can Mason.
Pepperdine had a 46-44 lead, and Oklahoma State has gone on a 16-2 run to take control. They lead by 12.
Now the question becomes whether Pepperdine can really focus in for the next minute and a half, 2 minutes or so on the interior. See if they try to get Shepard involved down on the blocks. And he has to work to get the basketball.
Pepperdine has dropped to 39% from the field after getting off a hot start in the second half. Here's Armstrong. Fade away. Buries it.
There's that example, too. Once again, the left-handed shooter, that right. The defender, Montanati, went towards the right, even though he's got to be careful with the 4 fouls.
9 points for Brandon Armstrong. 60-50 Oklahoma State as we come up on the 5-minute mark. Here's Gottlieb.
Good decision there to bring it back out, and he's thinking to give it over to Janzian.
Usually you look at his eyes and he's looking to attack.
Exactly.
At all times.
And then when the eyes look away, he generally flips it the other way. So this is where they need Montanati to handle the basketball and be a release.
Janzian has it deflected, gets it back. 8 to shoot. Here's Atkins. Penetration. Finds the open man, Williams. Shot clock is down to 2. Montanati, the leaner. He's got it.
Oh, they're hitting big shots. They're stepping up. And really the experience starting to come through.
Shot clock was down to 1. Armstrong can't hit the 3. And Oklahoma State leading at 62-50. With just over 4 minutes to play.
Janvan Bredikov is pleading for his defenders to get out and pressure the basketball.
Pepperdine now 4 for 24 from 3-point range.
Oklahoma State content with taking time off the clock right now. There's a reach in.
Montanati fouled by Lewis. Just the 14th foul called on the Waves. Timeout with 3:59 left. Second half. Oklahoma State, sizable lead.
Meet Carlos Sandoval, veteran Navy SEAL, trained to go through anything, equipped to survive it. Introducing the Chevy S10 Survival Pack. CD, automatic, air, aluminum wheels. Over $1,300 in savings and $1,250 cash back. You might think that could weaken a Navy SEAL. Fat chance. The Chevy S10 Survival Pack. Like a rock.
Gentlemen, a moment of silence in honor of Bob. Bob, a good friend, a good man, whose time had come. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
First, get a designated driver. Next, grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Excuse me, our car broke down. Can anyone give us a ride home?
Back later, guys.
Oh, thanks.
Bye, Bob.
Financial goals require solutions. Dreams deserve dedication. Success demands performance. If there's something you want to achieve, the principal has one word of advice. Plan ahead, get ahead. The Principal Financial Group.
All right, 3 weeks vacation.
Full benefits.
401k. How does that sound?
Sounds like I've finally found a home, a place where people love and nurture one another, where they appreciate the employee and compensate him justly, a place where loyalty and trust are valued far above the almighty dollar.
Take a look at this number.
Oh, I'm out of this dump.
Play your hand at hotjobs.com. All the best jobs and the tools to find them. At Hot Jobs, the hottest hand on the web.
Compassionate.
You may take your son home.
Thank you. But tough when she needs to be.
I've made other plans. Sit down, Mr. Jankowski.
Get to know Judge Amy Gray, CBS Tuesday.
Game summary, Oklahoma State leading by 12. Transition game controlled by the Cowboys. 20-10, they've outscored the Waves in that category. Janzian with 18 points, our CBS Sportsline stat of the game. 3-point field goals, and Pepperdine just has not had their shot going down here today. It completes stats after the game at cbs.sportsline.com.
Part of that problem with Pepperdine's long-range game has been they haven't been looking inside as much as they could be. There's Montanati as a break. Again, a little release.
Janzian clears it for Gottlieb. Oklahoma State more than happy to take time off the clock, leading 62 to 50.
They're going to force them to play defense and spread it out. Good spacing on the floor.
Janzian cross court for Atkins. Atkins with 6. Atkins jump shot. Joe Atkins buries it.
Big time step up also. How about the utilization of the clock? About 5 or 6 and drifting down.
His 4th three-pointer, 65 to 50 Oklahoma State. And Pepperdine gets a quick deuce on the other end with Armstrong leading in. A quick timeout. 3:11 left, second half.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
Yeah, she sure is. Would you mind if I take a closer look?
Be my guest.
You got anything in a 2-door?
Can't do it in life? Do it on the web with the power of the Pentium 3 processor. And find out how to get even more from the Pentium 3 processor at Intel.com.
Oklahoma State leads at 65 to 52. A look at the rest of the East region in Winston-Salem. These games coming up with Duke and Kansas and Illinois taking on Florida. We're back here in Buffalo, and the West Coast Conference certainly gained some credibility with the play of Gonzaga and Pepperdine in the first round, but right now it's the Big 12 winning out.
Oklahoma State, I think, has done a very good job of not getting rattled by all these different defenses. It took them the half to figure it out, but very, very much controlled in the offense in the second half.
Oklahoma State just over 3 minutes away from moving on to the Sweet 16. If they can hold on to the ball.
And they did not that trip.
Here's Archie. Penetration on a dish inside. Counted and a foul. Tommy Prince. Will they call it before the shot?
I think they're going to make it count. And I think that's the right call. The action towards the basket could have been a foul right there. Well, probably not. Probably could have had it on the floor.
They give them the bucket. And Prince is at the free throw line. A chance to complete the three-point play. Janzian with his 4th personal foul.
A little short, up for grabs.
And over the back, Lalazarian. That would have cut it to 10. Oklahoma State still not in the bonus.
Pepperdine still not going to stop the relentless defense. Let's see how Gottlieb and company handles the basketball.
Atkins on a bounce for Montanati, so they handle the pressure. Montanati. And Janzian will back it out.
Looking to strip the clock of time. That's such a release. They have to prevent Montanati from catching the basketball.
Lalazarian goes for the steal. And a foul call. That is team foul number 6 on Pepperdine.
Not a bad try, though. He almost came up with this basketball. You see, he got a hand on it, but then just couldn't slap it ahead to the other side of the half court.
Only problem for Pepperdine, it resets the shot clock.
And now they just have to continue to do what they're doing. Keep gambling. If they foul, so be it.
Archie going for the steal. Montanati holds. Cross court for Mason.
The key right now, keep it moving.
Janzian uncontested and a monster finish.
Don't hold the basketball. You get pressure like that, double teams, release it, and there's just has to be an advantage.
20 points for Frederick Janzian. Gibbs gets the roll. And a timeout taken. 2:13 left. Pepperdine in a hole at 67 to 56. Oklahoma State. I gotta give it to Janzian, no?
Ultimate cheese pizza. Is one cheese ultimate? I don't think so. 6 cheeses. That was me. I'm off to Wisconsin to get some more cheese.
The new Ultimate Cheese Pizza, loaded with the topping of your choice. 6 kinds of cheese, 50% more of it, and an incredible price. $8.99 medium, large, just $2 more.
It's a good price. We're not millionaires.
Well, you are.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. Who are the new masters of the net? The internet, that is. They're taking the cyber world by storm. And why is the mayor of one of the world's hottest vacation spots giving visitors the cold shoulder? You'll find out tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by a powerful all-new Touched by an Angel. Then, Oscar winner Louis Gossett Jr. and Gina Rowland star in The Color of Love, JC Story. It's all tonight on CBS. Oklahoma State 67, Pepperdine 56, just over 2 minutes to play.
Here we go, double teams. Scramble and gamble is what they have to do defensively. They foul. There's the reach in.
And there's the giveaway.
You want to keep doing that as quickly as you can, though. Stretch the game as much as you possibly can and hope that the Cowboys just don't go to the line and knock them down.
Now Oklahoma State is in the bonus. Eddie Sutton knew that he had an experienced team, senior-oriented team. Gottlieb's a senior, Atkins, Mason, Montanati. Yanzian is a sophomore. Montanati in and out on the 1-and-1. 2 minutes to play. Lalazarian lines it up. Can't hit the three. Knocked in the air, and Montanati with a rebound. Prince forced to foul him. And as mentioned, Oklahoma State in the bonus.
Eddie Sutton just waiting this last 2 minutes out. But one of the things that I'm sure he's happy with is the fact that his team really kept their composure for pretty much this entire second half. Good adjustments at the halftime and came out and really attacked when they had to.
Pepperdine 0 for 10. Shooting three-pointers in the second half. Montanati once again cannot hit the front end of a 1-and-1. He is 1 of 6 from the line. Armstrong is fouled. 3 free throws coming up with 1:49 left. And Pepperdine trailing by 11. Montanati has fouled out.
Well, you know they're going to come down the floor in a hurry on you. The last thing you want to do is put them at the line. Number one, you stop the clock, but then you give them free looks at the basket. Montanati, as soon as that occurred, he knew he was in trouble, and it was a mistake, a mental mistake.
11 points, 8 rebounds for Brian Montanati, native of Muskegon, Michigan. But a mistake there. 3 free throws for Brandon Armstrong, who shoots 83% from the line. Missing on the first. That window of opportunity is so slim with 1:49 showing on the clock and a double-digit lead. Pepperdine as a team just 4 for 10 from the free throw line. And Armstrong will get a third.
And Nick gives them the opportunity to go with their full court pressure again, and this makes it a little more difficult.
Armstrong connects, and Craig Lewis comes into the game, replacing David Lalazarian. 1:49 to play. Oklahoma State in front, 67-58.
There's the long one.
And here's Mason. Look out. Skying in for the jam.
How's that for a finish?
Desmond Mason with 13.
I'll tell you, Gottlieb can really find it. He's so patient with the basketball.
Final minute and a half of play. Armstrong, corner 3. Book it. A quick timeout called with 1:24 left on the clock. Oklahoma State leading it 69-61 over Pepperdine.
Team inherits Pizza Hut empire.
We're gonna create the ultimate cheese pizza.
Is one cheese ultimate? I don't think so.
6 cheeses. That was me. I'm off to Wisconsin to get some more cheese.
The new ultimate cheese pizza, loaded with the topping of your choice. 6 kinds of cheese, 50% more of it, and an incredible price. $8.99 medium, large, just $2 more.
It's a good price. We're not millionaires.
Well, you are.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Oklahoma State in control for a moment, but Gottlieb will do almost the unbelievable in terms of finding people. Look at the finish. Gottlieb with his 9th assist, Mason with the capper, and just slipping ahead. Nothing Gibbs can do. Man, you talk about getting off the floor and finishing. Just the basic simple. Catch the ball before and wham, send it home.
9 assists for Gottlieb. Desmond Mason took over for Adrian Peterson as the Cowboys' go-to guy offensively, and has he ever come through in that role? Another long pass. This time, though, Lalazarian knocks it away. Still plenty of time on the clock. 8-point game. Archie a 3. He nails it.
No quitting this team, though. They're going to force you right down to the wire. Oh, it's a long time.
Gottlieb just gets the timeout in before the 5-second call. A 10-2 run for Pepperdine.
Suddenly, it seems everyone's offering you e-business solutions. But ask them a simple question, like, have they scaled their own infrastructure to handle $40 million a day in e-commerce alone? And see how they react. Dell knows how he works. Visit Dell.com.
Dell business servers use Intel Pentium 3 Xeon processors.
Pepperdine has a little life left, a little time on the clock with 1:08 left, but Archie buries a big, big shot to make it interesting, and all of a sudden the fans in this building start to support Pepperdine for the last 1:08.
Archie with 7 points, 13 assists. We take a look at the game reset. Oklahoma State with 1 timeout. Pepperdine, no timeouts remaining, but the possession arrow does favor them. 18 fouls apiece with just over a minute to play, and Oklahoma State leading by 5.
Go for the steal. You don't have it. Take as little time to foul as possible.
They didn't foul Mason. Now it's Atkins back to Mason. Pepperdine not giving it away on the foul. A minute to play. Alexander, ball knocked away. But last touch, Pepperdine.
Question is, as Jen Van Bredekoff is indicating to go for the foul with 58.2 seconds left. And the key right here is to stretch this game as long as you possibly can.
Gottlieb is the man to foul if you can find him. 44%. Just barely gets it in. Layup attempt. Janzian, no. And now he's fouled. A 74% shooter. Frederick Janzian has been perfect from the line today.
Once again, if you're patient, he gets the ball down low and just misses the touch in off the glass. And then there's the quicker foul. Really took about 12-15 seconds off this clock, though, for the same results, getting a guy to the free throw line.
A career-high 20 points. 6 of 6 from the line today. And gets the roll on the first attempt. 6-point Oklahoma State lead.
Janzian was 11 for 15 from the line against Hofstra, so he spent some time at the line these 2 games.
Short on the second attempt, long rebound, and it's tracked down by Atkins. Oklahoma State with a hustle play.
Should be fouling right now. Jan Van Bredekoff is halfway to half court, indicating he wants the foul.
They're telling him 44, foul 44, Doug Gottlieb. Take a look at this.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have the ball low at the point. It's so difficult. I mean, the game plan coming in, knowing Gottlieb doesn't shoot the ball well from the line at 45%. But you have to execute.
London Alexander, the transfer from Arkansas, hits on the first. And Oklahoma State beginning to put some distance between them and Pepperdine. 2 out of 2 for Alexander. And now an 8-point game. Archie working quickly. Armstrong, they come out to guard him. A 3-pointer. Knocks it down.
They just won't quit. They will not quit.
19 points for Armstrong. 72-67 Oklahoma State. There was Gottlieb, and there's the giveaway.
Man, that's a good decision just then. They have so much belief in their defensive pressure that they're willing to take an extra time, a second or 2 off the clock, just to get Gottlieb an opportunity to get to the line. We'll see what he can do. 45% free throw shooter on the season.
And this will be his first free throw attempt of the day. 4 points, 9 assists. Doug Gottlieb. One of the great passers in college basketball. 2 free throws, it's the double bonus. Shooting has been a problem.
Right on cue. Now that's what Jan Van Bredekoff wants. He just wants to buy at least a little more time and buy opportunities down the stretch. Now, clearly, Oklahoma State knows that Gottlieb struggles at the free throw line. The real key is this Pepperdine and the guys on the floor understand it, and that just means block out and get the basketball if there's a miss.
Gottlieb, 1 out of 2.
Big answer for him.
73-67, Cowboys. Here's Archie for Gibbs. Pulls the trigger on a 3. Short, inside, Prince. Had it knocked away out of bounds. Last touch, Oklahoma State with 27.7 left.
Went off Yanzian's foot. That's why they regained possession.
Lalazarian, who shoots it well from the outside, 36% three-point shooter. He checks in.
Nothing's been open down low. That's why they're going deep.
Gottlieb pokes it away, out of bounds, takes a little time off the clock. And Pepperdine retains possession with 25.1.
About 3 seconds on this play. Just a little tip. There's the hit. 1, 2, 3 seconds.
Right now it's still a 2-possession game. Archie a 3. Off the mark. Yanzian the rebound. Final 15 seconds, and there's the foul. Atkins will go to the free throw line, and Oklahoma State is on the brink of moving on. Chevrolet players of the game: Brandon Armstrong, 19 points on 7 of 14 shooting, and Frederick Yanzian, 21 points, a new career high, and 7 of 8 from the free throw line.
It's interesting how Atkins just then ran back to the ball. Gottlieb ran to half court when they got that rebound.
Joe Atkins, 81% free throw shooter. The Oklahoma Player of the Year as a senior in high school, leading John Marshall to the state title. He decided to stay at home and go to Stillwater to play for the Cowboys. 17 points for the senior Atkins. Second free throw. Hits them both. Final seconds here in Buffalo. Armstrong gets off a 3. Short. Lewis trying to save it. He does for Armstrong. A 3. Off the rim. Knocked around, and it's over. For the first time in 5 years, Oklahoma State is going to the Sweet 16. Eddie Sutton and company knock off Pepperdine, 75-67. The Cowboys advance on, and they will meet the winner of Game 2 here in Buffalo. Temple and Seton Hall. That's coming up here from the HSBC Arena. 75-67, Oklahoma State, the winner over the Waves of Pepperdine. Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg coming up from New York when we return as our coverage continues here on CBS.